Then, a women's strawweight clash. The Polish warrior looks to punch her ticket back to the top as she welcomes an absolute beast who has fought and punished the very best.
Jessica Andrade!
And finally, the welterweight title hits Big D, one of the most explosive forces the welterweight division has ever known. A combination of power,
There it is! Tagged him! It's it!
blistering speed, and swagger
He's tough, but sometimes tough ain't enough. I'm gonna knock him out.
takes on the mayhem of Merseyside.
I want to be a great. I'm coming to beat the champion. I'm coming to beat the world champion.
A 25-year-old undefeated English destroyer.
It's a rally of punches here! Darren Till shocks the world!
With history at his fingertips. An opportunity to become only the second English fighter to hold UFC gold. Tonight, from Dallas, Texas, it's UFC 228. Woodley versus Till, and it starts now.
Yes, a good late summer evening to you from the great state of Texas. As usual, it was an impassioned and unpredictable fight week, but that all gives way to the action now and a championship fight that absolutely has all the makings. Live from American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, USA, this is UFC 228, Woodley versus Till. Closed captioning for tonight's telecast is brought to you by The Predator. The hunt has evolved. Meet the ultimate fighter, The Predator, in theaters Friday. The broadcast is also available in Spanish, brought to you by UFCEspanol.com. And with that, thank you for being with us on pay-per-view tonight. I'm John Anik. So in a short amount of time, Darren Till has truly captured the attention of the MMA masses. Undefeated, 25 years old, boiling over with confidence. Till tonight finds himself on the cusp of UFC superstardom. But the man in front of him, a guy who used to be the young lion, the UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley, he is out for respect here tonight as he continues to bolster his own legacy as one of the greatest 170-pound fighters the UFC has ever seen. An honor to share this space as usual. Joe Rogan, the two-division champion, Daniel Cormier, championship tension in the air. We got a big one tonight, Ben.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is such a good one. Darren Till is a monster. He really is. He's a special athlete. He's got special intensity, special confidence, unbelievable skills, 25 years old, undefeated, but he's taken on a special athlete in Tyron Woodley, one of the best welterweight champions of all time.
One of the best welterweight champs of all time. Very rarely do you get a guy that's at the peak of his performances in Woodley and an undefeated challenger charging hard towards him. This is a fantastic fight. I cannot wait.
And this is really the type of challenger and contender that has the champion Tyron Woodley at the height of motivation coming in here tonight.
It certainly does. His focus has been like no other fight. And what you get with Tyron Woodley is a man who has incredible speed. His ability to close the distance is sensational. He's got vicious one-punch knockout power. He's got wrestling skills, which I think may be a big factor in this fight. And we saw it in his preparation. And he has a wealth of experience against world-class fighters, plus ridiculous one-punch knockout power.
But his opponent tonight, Darren Till, the gorilla, he's a big guy. He's a young guy. And at 17-0, he's had no hiccups. Normally, a young guy will make a mistake at some point. Till has never done that. And he showed maturity beyond his years to outpoint Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in a point fight. A guy that never lost one of those in karate. Darren Till is the real deal. And tonight, he has a chance to become only the second English champion. He has something. Some of these guys have something. Darren Till has that something.
Well, there's an undeniable intensity whenever Darren Till is involved, but a lot of mutual respect between these two combatants. Perhaps that'll creep into the strategy here in this championship fight tonight. Of course, this year we've looked back at UFC history, and this our 25th anniversary year. Perhaps more will be made here tonight. You know, it seemed only a matter of time that an Englishman would break through and win a UFC title. Fittingly, Michael Bisping was that guy making history in 2016 tonight. It is all in front of Darren Till as he will try to become England's second UFC champion. All right, DC, not playing on pay-per-view tonight, the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship between Nico Montano and Valentina Shevchenko. Montano came in the champ, never made it to the scale. The belt has been vacated, and we've got just one title fight tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, she never got to defend the title that she fought so hard to get on The Ultimate Fighter. But you got to feel that for Valentina Shevchenko. She's chased this fight for so long, and even said on Thursday, maybe she won't make the fight. Very rarely is there an instance where a champion gets stripped and you don't find a way to side with the fighter. This one kind of feels justified. It was pushed back way too many times. Unfortunate for both of these ladies because they're both great martial artists.
Valentina was so heavily favored coming into this fight. It almost seemed like a foregone conclusion that she was going to walk away the new champion. That's how ridiculous a lot of people saw this fight. When she called the fact that it wasn't going to happen, and then it did,
right.
It cemented it in a lot of people's eyes.
All right, good news is Woodley and Till both made weight. That one is on, and we are just about ready to go with this main card. Time now to go backstage and inside the locker rooms, brought to you by The Predator. The hunt has evolved. Meet the Ultimate Fighter. The Predator in theaters Friday. And there is Abdul Razak Al Hassan, born in Ghana. He now calls Fort Worth, Texas home. He has set the bar high. 9 professional MMA wins. All of them have been first-round knockouts or TKOs. Tonight he draws the Florida native Nico the Hybrid Price. He's not one for the judges' scorecards either, folks. And after a bonus-winning knockout in July, Price makes the quick turn tonight, looking to establish himself as a title contender. All right, let's get to the rules of the Octagon. 3 judges score the fight. The bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds. For championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer, and scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed by aggression, and then Octagon control in that order. Also of note, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation of Combative Sports has yet to adopt the newer set of unified rules, so the old rules still in effect tonight. We also will not have the benefit of instant replay as we often do, so keep that in mind tonight as well. As usual, all of the fighters have been made aware. UFC 228 Woodley versus Till, brought to you in high definition by The Predator. The hunt has evolved. Meet the Ultimate Fighter, The Predator, in theaters Friday. All right, the table is now set. We are ready to go with the main card from Dallas, Texas. Good to have you with us tonight on pay-per-view. And with myriad highlight reel finishes on their resumes, Abdul Razak Al Hassan and Nico Price enter tonight's bout with high expectations that they'll produce another result to remember. Welterweight up-and-comers Abdul Razak Al Hassan and Nico Price are on the fast track to the top 15. And with a win tonight, one of these exciting finishers hopes to make a statement to the masses that they are ready for the division's elite.
I can definitely see this being potential fight of the night, but it's a lot of fun fights on this card, so you never know. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a banger. You know, we're going to both go out there and one of us is going to sleep.
One of the most creative and dangerous fighters in the UFC. Florida's Nico Price has achieved the distinction of being someone who can end a fight on the feet or the mat, and in devastating fashion. His recent stoppage of Randy Brown on the mat and with his feet thrilled mixed martial arts fans around the globe and served to set up tonight's opportunity on pay-per-view.
I'm a very creative fighter because when I get in there, I take opportunities that people don't. You know, I'll do something totally out of the blue to finish you.
A native of Ghana who has been embraced by his adopted hometown of Fort Worth, Texas, Abdul Razak Al Hassan may be a black belt in judo, but he is rarely needed to lean on that part of his game. He has ended all 9 of his MMA wins by first-round knockout, a streak he hopes to extend on Texas soil tonight.
Dallas, watch out. By God's grace, you're going to see a knockout.
So here he is, Nico Price, 28 years old, at least for 3 more weeks, making his 7th UFC appearance here tonight, coming off a big win over Randy Brown. That produced a bonus, and this is a fighter's fighter. He says, my call-out is my style. I feel like I'm going to have to fight them all tonight. He draws Abdul Razak Al Hassan.
He is a wild man and incredibly creative. And that last fight, the knockout of Randy Brown with hammer fist from his back was just ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen that before inside the octagon.
Right.
It was crazy. It lets you know if a guy's got that kind of power with a hammer fist, you can pull it off from that position. It's a wake-up call from some people that thought they were safe on top.
Yeah, you're not safe. You're not safe at any moment inside the octagon, and Nico Price did show that against Randy Brown. He said that he finds motivation in his family, in his children, and he said he loves the bonuses, and he loves collecting them, and at times he's lost fights chasing bonuses, but tonight he's really going to focus on getting the W above everything else. Loves the new money, loves the extra 50, but get the W, and then we move forward.
Yeah, made a $50,000 bonus his last time out. He said by the time he got home, his wife had already blueprinted 2 new bathrooms. But Nico Price, he's only gone the distance 1 time in 14 pro fights. He's never been knocked out. The father of 4. Did some cross-training this camp, Nebraska, Colorado. Worked with the WBO welterweight champion Terrence Crawford at times. Nico Price ready to go tonight.
If you're staring across a boxing ring or anything at Terrence Crawford, you're getting the best work in the entire world, because T-Bud is pound for pound one of the best there is in all of combat sports when it comes to hand-to-hand combat.
No doubt about that. I like your feet.
Born in Ghana, now fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas. And making his 5th UFC appearance tonight, Abdul Razak Al Hassan. He doesn't feel any pressure to live up to the results he's put on paper, but hard to argue with all the knockouts, and most of them, Joe, have come very early on in fights.
This is a dynamic young man with unbelievably explosive power and a very, very aggressive style. That black belt in judo, the grappling skills combined with his Muay Thai makes him a very, very dangerous combination, because there's no place where you're safe. You're not safe in the clinch, you're not safe on the ground, and you're definitely not safe standing up with this guy.
No, you're definitely not safe standing. He said that as you go up in rankings, guys become tougher and tougher and tougher, and he believes Nico Price is as tough as they come. Feels good fighting at home. He said he feels good being able to fight very close to home. Doesn't go out looking for the knockout, but it seems to present itself. Said he's improved a ton in his wrestling, in his preparation, and expects Nico Price to give him everything.
Total fight time under a half hour for Abdul Razak Al Hassan in 10 professional fights, several national judo titles to his credit. But after that Omari Akhmedov fight, the focus was wrestling. He has acknowledged how good Nico Price is on the ground. But we are expecting a fun fight here tonight. Strategically, this one was placed in this pay-per-view opening slot. Abdul Razak Al Hassan making his 5th UFC appearance tonight and in search of a 3rd consecutive win. This Tale on the Tape brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, 33 years old. Nico Price is 28. Price, the taller man by 2 inches. He will enjoy a 3-inch reach advantage. All right, ready to go with this pay-per-view main card opener, and ready with the introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas for UFC 228. Woodley versus Till. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record. 12 wins, 1 loss, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170.5 pounds. Fighting out of Cape Coral, Florida, Nico the Hybrid Price. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai fighter holding a professional record. 9 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 170.5 pounds. Fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas, by way of Ghana, Abdul Razak Al Hassan. When the action begins, our referee in charge, Jacob Montalvo.
Jacob Montalvo has been a busy man tonight. Same can be said for Ariane Celeste. Thank you very much.
Ready? Ready?
fight. We are ready to go. Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, center of the octagon, is in yellow. Nico Price is in white.
Oh, Nico with a big right hand right off the bat. Counter to that right leg kick.
Price acknowledged his grappling advantage, at least on paper, but likes to beat guys at their own game.
Oh, these boys are swinging.
Abdul caught him.
Price got to be careful here.
It's a dangerous game.
That's it.
Abdul Razak Al Hassan does it again.
It's a dangerous game, boys. That is a dangerous game.
Nico pays the price tonight. Unbelievable.
That was good, John. Nico pays the price tonight.
Well, they rolled the dice. Holy smoke. It's the power that we were talking about. Razak Al Hassan's power is just undeniable. And they both landed good shots. I mean, Nico got off the first punch. He landed a good right hand, but Razak Al Hassan's power is just on another level.
Who does that? Like, why do you play Russian roulette? Right? Why do you do it? You don't take those chances, man. You gotta protect yourself. You play that game with Al Hassan, you run the risk of going to sleep, and he was out before he hit the ground. Unbelievable performance.
This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Here it is. Boom, he catches him on the ear. Misses with the left, and here's the right. Boom, stuns him. Now here's the big one. Nope, not here.
Fade back.
Right here. Nope.
Body. Drops him with a body shot.
Early. Okay, this is earlier.
It's over now, Joe.
That's it. It's the left hand, the right hand, and another left hand. He hit him with 3 shots.
Oh, man.
You can see his eyes roll with the first shot.
That left hook, watch the left hook. When he gets up, the left hook's going to get him. Watch the left hook.
Bang,
boom.
That's it.
It's over.
Bang, bang.
The left hook got him. Once the left hook hit him, it was over.
It was over, and then the right hand and the left hand behind it.
Finished him up. Holy smokes.
Nico Price had never been knocked out. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, 10th career win by first-round knockout. And it didn't take long once again. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS. Get knockout coverage of the UFC on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. To make this one official, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jacob Montalvo has called a stop to this contest at 43 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout, Abdul Razak Al Hassan.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Yes, congratulations. Spectacular. Boy, that was wild for as long as it lasted. He seemed like he was determined to come out there and stand toe-to-toe with you. That obviously turned out to be a big mistake.
Yeah, I knew he's a brawler. He's very good with his hands. You know, he's the kind of person you think you're winning, all of a sudden, boom, he gets you. I kind of figured he would try and take me out, like take me down. I didn't think he was going to stand there and trade with me.
When it became this wild exchange, was there ever any point where you were like, maybe this is not the smartest thing to do, maybe fight more technical, or did you just get sucked into the brawl as well?
Nah, that's just me. When somebody throw back at me, I don't know what it is, but I just get mad and I just want to throw back. I'm not going to move back. I'm going to stay there. Let's just throw.
That's what you did, and that turned out to be very successful. Take a look at the big screen. You clipped him a couple times, but then it was a left hook in this exchange here once he gets up. And then you hit him with 2 more punches while he was unconscious.
Yeah, I saw him moving. When we were studying his tape, he usually moved to his right side. So we timed the left a lot. So when I saw him move, I just threw it, and he just had him at the right time.
Well, spectacular result, my friend. Congratulations on another amazing performance. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, when you get a chance to fight at home and you want to make a statement, that's what you do. Abdul Razak Al Hassan did his thing tonight in Dallas. It went down in the deep for Abdul Razak Hassan. I'm too nervous. I'm too excited. I'm too excited. Dude's nasty.
And congrats to Stephen Wright, Saif Saud, and the entire team. If you don't know, now you know. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, the king of Houston. Derek Lewis in the building tonight. He's got a date with Alexander Volkov when we return to pay-per-view in a month at UFC 229. Well, speaking of pay-per-view, some news now. What has long been rumored, we can now make official. The rematch between former UFC middleweight champions Luke Rockhold and Chris Weidman. It is on, folks. UFC 230, Saturday, November 3rd, world's most famous arena. As you know, the first meeting was the night Rockhold took the belt from Weidman. He won the title at UFC 194. Now, they were to rematch several months later at UFC 199. Weidman got injured. Michael Bisping intervened. Now the rematch shall be done.
It's a fantastic fight, and it was a very, very close fight up until Chris Weidman's attempt at that wheel kick. Luke took him down, and from then, Luke dominated him. But, man, what a card this is going to be. And the card is not finalized yet, ladies and gentlemen. I know some things you don't know. Hold your breath. Dustin Poirier versus Nate Diaz. Good googly moogly, is that going to be a good fight? Jacare versus David Branch is an outstanding fight. And Derek Brunson versus Israel Adesanya, otherwise known as Style Bender, is going to be a barn burner. I'm very, very, very much looking forward to that back in New York City.
That is right, and as Joe Rogan hinted, the main event for UFC 230 has yet to be announced.
We know some things.
UFC 228, Woodley vs. Till, is brought to you by Modelo Especial. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made. Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit. By Metro PCS, bringing you knockout coverage of the UFC. Away, Daniel Cormier will be in the building.
As a fan, I'm not sitting here next to you guys because I have to watch this from the seats. Khabib versus Conor is the biggest fight the UFC has ever put on. And I've been involved in some big ones, not afraid to say it. But right beneath it, Tony Ferguson returns and fights Anthony Pettis, who looked like a rock star. He looked like the guy from the Wheaties box the last time he was in the octagon. Derek Lewis versus Alexander Volkov. Ovince St. Preux takes on Dominic Reyes. But ultimately, we are all waiting to get to the main event with two of the most polarizing figures the sport of MMA has ever seen. This is going to be phenomenal.
All right, while you're watching us, The Predator is watching you, The Ultimate Fighter, in theaters this Friday. All right, so a big one forthcoming here in the bantamweight division as we show you the updated top 10. It'll be number 5, Jimmy Rivera versus number 7, John Dodson. Now, earlier tonight, it was 8th-ranked Aljamain Sterling over number 10, Cody Stamann. So Aljo wants the winner of this fight between Rivera and Dodson. You can be sure they have visions of an eventual crack at TJ Dillashaw, but 135 pounds has never been stronger, and a big opportunity on pay-per-view tonight for Jimmy Rivera and John Dodson to keep pace and keep moving up that ladder. Elite bantamweights both, Jimmy Rivera and John Dodson, take to the octagon tonight. It's a bout that has the potential to shake up the division and put the winner firmly in the thick of the hunt. In the fight game, it has been said and proven that styles make fights. And given the styles of bantamweight contenders Jimmy Rivera and John Dodson, 3 rounds of fast-paced action is in the forecast here in Dallas. Owner of a 20-1 record in his last 21 bouts, New Jersey's Rivera's status as an elite 135-pounder is secure, thanks to wins over Thomas Almeida, Uriah Faber, and Pedro Munoz. But to get into the race for the title, the prevailing wisdom is he will have to add the name John Dodson to that victims list. But getting a win over Dodson has not proven easy for anyone in the division, and the Magician will look to put his speed and power on full display once again tonight as he continues his quest for UFC gold and glory. Always loose, here is John Dodson, 31st professional fight here tonight. He has never been finished, and perhaps in some way that is because at times he has been risk averse and he has been a counter striker. Says he has a new mentality, Joe, coming in there tonight to get in and get out as fast and as quickly as possible. He has really prioritized the finish tonight against Jimmy Rivera.
I think he's got to get back to somehow being the John Dodson of old. And I don't know what is missing, and it's a slight difference. It's not a giant difference. He still has the speed. He still has the skills. He's still only 33 years old. But it just doesn't seem like over the last couple of years he's had the same hunger that he had when he had his first fight with Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. Whether it's the domination that he suffered in the second fight and recognizing that he's never going to beat the best of the best, or whether it's just he's burnt out. I don't know what it is, but you just don't see the same John Dodson. But the John Dodson we've seen when he's at his very best is a phenomenal athlete. When you go back to the John Dodson that destroyed T.J. Dillashaw to win the Ultimate Fighter, that John Dodson is spooky. The kind of speed that he showed when he stopped John Moraga. I mean, John Dodson at his best is a monster. When he stops Manvel Gamburian, when he stepped up to 135 pounds and just looked sensational, we were like, okay, maybe it's a weight cut. Maybe that's what it was. Whatever it is, if he can get back that motivation, that focus, and that intensity when he was a top contender, then we're going to see the John Dodson of old. He still has the skills. He still has the ability.
And the motivation comes from the fact that he believes this fight has been owed to him for a while, and Jimmy Rivera's been ducking and dodging him. Now he has to get locked in the cage, and he said that he's glad to get to punch him in his face.
Well, 20-fight winning streaks are awfully hard to come by in modern-day mixed martial arts, but that was Jimmy Rivera's reality when he made the walk for a main event against Marlon Moraes June 1st in Utica, New York. 33 seconds into the fight, thereby went the 20-fight winning streak, but DC undeterred. Jimmy Rivera makes the quick turn tonight, and he'll look to get on track.
Well, and that's the mantra of his team at Tiger Showman. They said, if you don't achieve what you're accomplishing, just get back up and try again. He said after he got beat, he didn't get a chance to show what he really is about. Obviously, we've seen over the course of that 20-fight win streak how good this guy is. But he didn't get to show his skill against Rice, who was so quick. So when they offered him the big name in John Dodson, he immediately said, okay, let's go. This is the type of fight that puts me right back where I was. Because even if you lose, when you come off a win streak like that, if you can couple that win streak from the past with a win over a John Dodson, it's hard to ignore that you're right back where you were before.
One factor to take into consideration was he was knocked out in June of this year. That is less than 3 months ago. Think about that.
I mean, he got knocked out bad too, but this guy's a wrestler, and maybe he feels like he can control where the fight's going, because if he runs into a big punch from Dodson, Dodson has the power to put him out again.
So we're talking, it was June 1st, so it is 3 months ago. It's just a little over, but you know, that's not a lot of time to recover, and only he knows how badly he was actually hurt and how quickly he could recover. But John Dodson has lightning fast hands and a history of knocking people unconscious.
All right, Jimmy Rivera and John Dodson have entered the octagon. This tale of the tape brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Rivera still on the right side of 30. John Dodson will be 34 later this month. Rivera 1 inch taller than his counterpart. He will have a 2.5-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the particulars, back inside to the venerable Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 21 wins, 9 losses. He stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 135.5 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, presenting the Ultimate Fighter Season 14 winner and the number 7 ranked bantamweight contender in the world, John Magician Dodson! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 21 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Ramsey, New Jersey, presenting the number 5 ranked bantamweight contender in the world, Jimmy El Terror Rivera! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Murgliata.
Dan Murgliata, our referee. Brittany Palmer getting us started for round 1 here of a possible 3. High stakes at 135 pounds. John Dodson felt disrespected by Jimmy Rivera, but Rivera finally signed on the dotted line, and Dodson is looking to make him pay tonight. Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. And I think you hit on a lot of salient points as John Dodson was walking tonight in terms of the motivation, because his coaches feel like this training camp, there was a return to focus for Dodson.
That is what he needs. It's not a matter of him having the skills. It's a matter of him coming into this fight motivated and ferocious.
Every time guys return quick, you wonder how they're going to respond. We had that twice recently. Bisping, when he came back after the GSP fight, fought again and got beat by Kelvin. But then when Frankie got knocked out, he looked phenomenal against Cub Swanson when he came back. So you never know how these guys are going to respond to coming back after a knockout, especially when they do it really quick.
The only difference in the Frankie fight is that Frankie already had a vicious victory over Cub Swanson, and he might have had more confidence coming in there.
Yes, you're right.
Only UFC finish for Jimmy Rivera came in his 2015 debut against Marcus Brimage. Dodson catches the leg, pushes Rivera down.
And he tagged him.
Yep.
And Jimmy trying to turn it around on him. And already we're seeing a very fast John Dodson. Motivated and looking for the finish.
Dodson fought Demetrius Johnson for the flyweight title in 2013, again in 2015, before moving up to this bantamweight division. But what Dodson has had in his back pocket always, that win over TJ Dillashaw, his UFC debut by knockout, and you've got to think TJ at some point would like to get that one back.
TJ sitting on top of the mountain right now and just kind of looking down at these dudes fight each other. Dodson has always been so fast. And when he lets things go in combination, you see those types of attacks like he just hit Jimmy Rivera with.
Yeah, he was fast as a flyweight and hasn't lost a step at 135.
Very smart of Jimmy Rivera kicking the inside leg there. He'll slow him down there. If he keeps beating that leg up, it'll start to really take a toll on the movement of John Dodson.
And we saw that in his fight with Uriah Faber. He's excellent at that. And he's one of those guys that attacks that low leg kick. There he goes again.
That's multiples in round 1. Dodson smiled there. Oh, nice. Did you see him bind the leg there when he was going to lift it? Great reaction by John Dodson. He vined the leg so that Rivera couldn't get his hips up in the air. Quick reaction on the spot by John Dodson.
Dodson with a wrestling base as well, attended the University of New Mexico, wrestled there, studied criminology. Rivera keeping that right guard high.
Every time Rivera lands something real nice, Dodson gives him a smile. That means it's taking a toll on him.
Under 2 minutes to go in round 1. Both fighters playing the tactical game here early. Dallas crowd hasn't had a whole lot to get restless about. Ornery punch here right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a great night of fights. You know, calm down, guys. I mean, calm down.
Rivera with a nice right to the body and a right up top. Rivera looks very fast tonight as well.
And strong. You can see the difference in the size here. When Rivera lands, you can see the impact. A little bit more than Dodson to this point.
Pretty good combination from Rivera.
Dodson's always been a guy that can really blitz you because of the speed, but Rivera's doing a good job right now countering, knowing when John's attacking, just throwing more punches than Dodson in the exchanges.
Oh! Both men landing shots there.
Under 30 seconds to go in a round that could be winnable for either party here.
Jimmy Rivera keeping the pressure. Good left hook by Rivera, and another one. Two good shots by Rivera here at the end of the first. And another.
Into the corner of John Dodson. Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Try their new UFC flavor, Octagon Orange, exclusively available at 7-Eleven.
All right, John. Hey, how you feel? Good. Good? Yeah.
So, every time you hit him, he's just going to hit with you.
Okay.
So hitting and exiting.
Yeah.
But you're way faster than he is. But he's trying to time you on the way in. So just a little fake, He'll bite, and then when he's done biting, get him.
Okay. He wants the green, you see it. I like the 9.
Ooh, and when he goes to throw, just back it up and throw your right hand, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So throw it, fake it. And then let him see what he does when you fake it. Beautiful. Breathe. Breathe deep. Beautiful. Let's go. Let's go.
Vanessa Hansen getting us started for round 2. Greg Jackson and Brandon Gibson there in the corner of John Dodson.
Yeah, great advice. They're telling them that Rivera has now started to time his attacks. Throw some feints in there, because that's one thing John Dodson has not been doing. He does not feint. He does not fake to try to draw out Jimmy's reaction. He's just attacking, and Jimmy's countering him. So if he throws more feints in there, they're hoping he can draw out his reactions, and then he can land his left hand.
Rivera staying heavy with those leg kicks, working the inside of Dodson's lead leg.
Yeah, you're starting to see some redness as those shorts creep up. That it is a powerful inside leg kick by Rivera.
And you got to think for Rivera, best way to put that Marlon Moraes chapter to bed, get right back in there against a fellow contender. Off to a pretty good start tonight against John Dodson.
Again.
That leg is red. He just got on long shorts, but you can see under the knee. And you see him starting to bite on the feints. He's trying to check before Jimmy even throws the kick now.
Well, it's got to be affecting his movement at this point. And that's something that John relies on heavily.
Both fighters exchanging there in the pocket, not much doing. Got a minute gone by here, round 2.
Check that one.
Dodson catches the leg, lands a left hand partially.
But now that John is intent on checking, Jimmy's going to have to hide that kick a little bit better. He's got to throw something before it. Jimmy Rivera's doing a great job of moving and feinting, though. Look at his head. I mean, we're talking about one of the fastest guys at 25-35 or in the entire UFC in John Dodson. And Rivera's touching him constantly because he's feinting and moving into him the whole time.
Rivera doubling up on Dodson in terms of these significant strikes landed through about 7 minutes of this one.
Dodson looked for a high kick there. Slammed into the guard.
3 minutes to go in the round. Both guys so fast, sometimes it's hard to see what lands and what doesn't. Rivera perhaps getting a little bit frustrated here.
A lot of times you can get frustrated fighting John because you want to brawl, but he's too good and too technical, and he's so good at following his game plan that no matter what you want to do, John Dodson's going to fight his fight. So he frustrates guys. And right now, he's starting to get Rivera to fight his fight, and that's why he's having more success in this round than he did in round number 1.
Still, constant pressure by Rivera, and the judges will be looking at that. I mean, he's the one who's forcing the action, and he's the one who's constantly moving. Oh, Dodson just grazed his chin there with that left hand.
He's gotten closer with that left and that high kick on the last 2 occasions.
Just not enough volume from Dodson, though.
Right, and it doesn't at all dovetail with a lot of what he was saying leading up to this fight.
Well, I think it's the power of Rivera. It's got him very concerned. And the speed. Rivera is shockingly fast in this fight.
And you know when you're fighting Jimmy, you got to be ready to go 15 minutes because this dude's always in great shape.
Yeah, always. And that's what he has to be concerned with. The counters once his initial shot lands.
All right, under a minute now to go. Rivera and Dodson. Faint, heavy attack from Rivera. Looked like a groin strike there. Jimmy protested. We'll get a look at a replay here shortly, but Dan Murgliata interrupts the action.
That seemed pretty low.
Fighters to the neutral corner.
I know what you said.
Well,
all right, you ready? Let's go. Come on, time in. Let's go.
But sometimes that's enough.
Well, yeah. Even if I give you the flick, it's enough.
The flick?
I can go back. It'll be enough.
Rivera trying to kick up high.
Yeah. Just missed with the left hook over the top. There's definitely an underlying dislike between these two fighters. You can see it. Under 30 seconds now to go, round 2.
Dodson's got to do something to get Jimmy's respect. Jimmy's moving forward, and Jimmy's looking for his openings and then looking for big shots.
I think Dodson's trying to time a knee now as he goes in. He's thrown that strike twice. He just has to be very careful. See, he did it again.
Good kick to the body.
And a nice job by Dodson thereafter to not allow Rivera to get the takedown.
The problem is, though, the volume of Rivera strikes could easily be winning in rounds.
So a pedestrian round there. John Dodson, Jimmy Rivera. And you see Dan Murgliata, by the way, telling John Dodson it was a clean kick.
It might be 1-1. I think you have both rounds, but it might be 1-1. Let's take this round, okay? How you feel? How you feel? Good?
Yeah, I feel good.
Tired at all?
Nah, he hit me a good round kick, but that's it.
Okay, good. Breathe.
It wasn't like, it wasn't anything bad.
Yeah.
No, breathe. Don't talk.
Just move in and fucking box him. He was so much better. You're so much better, yeah. Okay. But move in, like you got crushing blows. He don't have punches as hard as you. He doesn't.
You're right. It's like straight right. You know it's coming.
Okay.
So roll that head kick in there. Start having fun. Jump, kick him in the chest. But start mixing it up, mix and match. So he can't just sit there waiting on that right hand. Make sense? Okay. Go have some fun and be you. Yeah, go be you. Yeah, exactly. Let me see 5 punches in a row.
That's 5.
Fight fans, check out the UFC store on your mobile device. Get your favorite fighter gear and more. Shop now and receive 15% off during tonight's fight. Use code UFC228 and start saving today. You know, you hate to overstate the importance of these 5 minutes, but given the status of this 135-pound division, if these guys want to get up to the top, gotta have this one tonight.
It's gigantic, and it's still not enough. You know, Rivera coming off the knockout to Marlon Moraes, and Dodson has had some good and bad fights in the past, but it's very important for their career.
You just don't want to be going backwards, right? At this point in such a deep division, you cannot be going backwards. And if you're Jimmy Rivera, and you're a guy that had won 20 fights in a row, and you're just going back, you need to be impressive. You know, he needs to pick up the pace a little bit in round 3 against John Dodson.
Dodson recovered quickly after Rivera landed a big left hand. Nice stick there by Dodson.
Dodson landed that shot as his leg was giving out. Which is incredible. But Jimmy is,
nice
right
counter,
Jimmy. Jimmy's having really good effects with those leg kicks. Oof.
Rivera's moving well tonight.
He's matching him with speed, which is impressive. And he's besting him with power.
Rivera's corner wants him to get close so that he can box him. They said you're so much better. Now, Dodson's corner said just have fun. Get back to being you and have fun in there. They want him to just let it go. No more thinking. Just be John Dodson.
Yeah, that's easily said. And I don't know if it's the best strategy. I mean, I think what he's got to do is figure out a way to do something that Jimmy Rivera is not predicting. So standing in front of him, probing with that right hand, looking for the left, or looking for a left high kick, those are the only things that Jimmy Rivera has had to think about.
Right, doesn't have to worry about a level change.
Right.
And as I said off the top, John Dodson, 31st pro fight. He's never been finished. Perhaps it's time to increase that willingness to enter that pocket and get knocked out if need be.
That's easier said than done, too. I mean, the reason why he's never been finished is because he recognizes when he's in danger, whether it's the John Lineker fight or, you know, some of his other fights where he'll just use technique and stay on the outside of it. His leg just went out from under him there.
Less than 3 minutes now to decide this one.
Rivera clearly the stalker here. He's controlling the center of the octagon.
Sometimes guys are in these fights and they'll back up the entire time and fall victim to maybe a split decision. And they're very upset, but one of the first scoring criteria is octagon control. And to this point, John Dodson hasn't taken a stand and said, this is my octagon during our time. It's kind of been going back the whole time. He needs to put something on Jimmy Rivera to get him from going forward the whole time.
Yeah, in terms of like sheer volume of advancing or retreating, Jimmy Rivera has him just far, far exceeded. So we can look at it there. Jimmy Rivera 36% and John Dodson 8%. That's a big factor.
Good front kick by Dodson, and then Jimmy Rivera attacks the inside of that lead leg again. But at least on paper, it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that this matchup could play out like this a little bit.
Yes.
Given the styles of these fighters. 90 seconds now to go.
I feel like when they come together, Rivera's really throwing with intent.
Yeah.
You know, he's really, it looked like he would be willing to kind of enter the fire a little bit. But as we said, you know, John, you during the walk and you a second ago, Joe, you know, John Dodson's going to fight with the style that he trained with. And right now, that style is to counter and not take too many risks. Because Rivera's throwing. I mean, he's trying to hit him, but Dodson's, he's a magician. You know, he's in there and then he's out.
And he's felt the power of Rivera, and that's definitely got him a little bit gun shy.
There are the numbers in terms of significant strikes round by round. Rivera with a slight advantage in rounds 2 and 3. Coming up on the final 30 seconds of this one. Rivera again pressing forward, closing the distance.
But in those exchanges, Dodson does land that little left hand over and over again. He's touching him.
It's just not enough to keep him off of him.
Yeah.
Rivera's volume and his constant control of the center of the octagon and constant advancing. I mean, neither guy's done anything huge.
Oh, nice right hand from Jimmy Rivera. Dodson working the body late. Some action after the horn, not a ton of it during the fight. Been a night full of highlights in Dallas. That one not necessarily among them. This replay brought to you by Nemiroff. Bold character since 1872.
This was a big factor in the fight, I think. The inside leg kick of Jimmy Rivera, he used it many, many times and took a lot of the movement away. There's a good body kick by John Dodson. And here's some good striking from Jimmy Rivera. Good solid jab there. Good right hand. The surprising thing in the fight, to me, was that Jimmy was able to match Dodson with speed.
Nice to see them bury the hatchet there a little bit. Jimmy Rivera, in some respects, didn't want the Dodson fight because he was chasing down the Dominic Cruzes and those guys in the division. But after what happened against Marlon Moraes back in June, beggars can't necessarily be choosers. Rivera took the Dodson fight tonight and largely dictated what happened in there, champ.
Yeah, I mean, he went forward the entire time. He tried to engage, but John Dodson fought his fight. And because he fought his fight, we're waiting for what I imagine is a pretty close decision.
Let's get you that official decision brought to you by Metro PCS. Get knockout coverage of the UFC on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. With the scorecards, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Jimmy El Rivera.
So Jimmy Rivera came in number 5 in the world. He gets the job done tonight. 6-1 inside the octagon. He has now won a remarkable 21 of his last 22 fights. Jimmy Rivera, your winner by unanimous decision tonight. Well, the celebs are out in Dallas here tonight. How about Brad Lukovich? Stanley Cup winner with your hometown Dallas Stars. Perhaps a bigger pop will be reserved for one Tyler Sagan, the Dallas Stars center in the building tonight, as is the former Dallas Mavericks point guard Darren Williams, aligned with Fortis MMA right here in Dallas. These locker room shots brought to you by The Predator. The hunt has evolved. Meet the Ultimate Fighter, The Predator, in theaters Friday. Zabit Magomedov, might as well start figuring out how to pronounce it because the man is here to stay tonight. A chance to move to 4-0 in the UFC on this, the biggest stage of his career. We will see if the Mississippi tough Brandon Davis can somehow pull off the short notice shocker. Appeared more than ready if fight week is any indication. Brandon Davis trying to pull off the stunner here tonight. Well, UFC fans, the wait is over. Go to UFC.com/229 to enter for the chance to win 2 tickets to UFC 229, Khabib versus McGregor. The sweepstakes ends on Sunday, so make sure and enter now. We wish you the best of luck. And of course, if you don't win, don't forget, it's at DC_MMA on Twitter if you need tickets to UFC 229.
Yeah, right.
All right, well, next weekend, the hits keep on coming over on UFC Fight Pass. MMA leader hitting Russia for the first time, DC. And the king of the walk-off KO, the lead horse, Mark Hunt against Alexei Oleinik at the top of the bill.
Yeah, it's a very tough fight. Mark Hunt can finish you at any moment, but Alexei Oleinik, the boa constrictor, can put people out. At times you didn't recognize you're getting choked. And then Andrei Arlovsky fights Abdurakhimov. John Blachowicz takes on Nikita Krylov as he returns. This is going to be a great fight for the first time the UFC goes to Russia.
Big night for the pronunciation god as well. Hunt and Oleinik coming up next Saturday night. Well, while you're watching us, the Predator is watching you. See The Ultimate Fighter in theaters this Friday. All right, next up here from Dallas will be the featherweights, a fight that very well could be destined for some bonus money. Well, it seems an extraordinary task to solve. Zabit Magomedov in a mixed martial arts setting, but Mississippi's Brandon Davis is no ordinary man. He'll look to spring what would be a monumental upset here tonight. Few men have gotten off to better starts in their UFC careers than Zabit Magomedov. And with 3 spectacular UFC wins and as many bonuses, a precious few featherweights were calling for a shot at Zabit. But when a short notice opportunity arose to face the rising Russian star, Brandon Davis was ready for the call of duty.
Брендон Дэвис никак меня не беспокоит. Хоть мне поменяли за 10 дней соперника, я готов ко всему.
This opportunity is huge. I mean, why not be able to shortcut? I mean, I'm coming off a loss, so if I can get this as a win, it's going to skyrocket me up there because he's a big name and they think he's going to be the next champ.
At this time last year, Brandon Davis had just punched his ticket to the UFC with a win over Austin Arnett on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. Since then, he has not stopped competing, and with valuable experience gained in battles with Kyle Bochniak, Steven Peterson, and Enrique Barzola, Davis hits Dallas for the fight of his life against Zabit Magomedov.
I think Zabit's a beast, but I mean, he has holes in his game just like anybody else. He's a man. Anybody can get knocked out. Anybody can get beat any given night.
Despite a long winning streak and some serious praise from high-profile teammates such as Frankie Edgar, Zabit Magomedov didn't rest on his laurels when he arrived in the UFC. Instead, the Dagestan native turned up the heat, first submitting Mike Santiago, then Shaman Moraes, and then showing off his vast arsenal of skills and his grit in an unforgettable fight of the night with Bochniak.
Я всегда уверен в себе, я всегда готов только на победу.
Well, these Mississippi boys are tough. Brandon Davis making the walk for his 4th UFC appearance here tonight. And Joe, he's taking the fight on 11 days' notice, and I like the mentality in terms of accepting a fight like this and staying ready. He says, in order to get where I want to be, I got to train every day anyway. He's in the gym. He was 14 pounds lighter 2 days after accepting the fight, and he's looking to pull off the shot for tonight.
Well, win or lose, this is an awesome opportunity to test himself against one of the best in the world. And Zabit represents a very unique style. But Brandon Davis is a real solid professional fighter, and I think he's going to give Zabit one of his toughest tests inside the octagon. Kyle Bochniak started out slow in that fight, but towards the end of the fight, he started coming on strong just from heart and courage and guts and skill. When Brandon Davis steps into this octagon, what he brings to the table is high volume. He's got very good endurance. He's a high-volume striker. He's got clean technique. He's got a very good ground game, as well as a very good stand-up game. And he's also long and tall for 145 pounds at 5'10". You know, not as long and tall as Zabit, but he's up there.
You know what I love about Brandon Davis, Joe, is that this isn't the first time he took this fight against Zabit on short notice. Before Zabit's debut in Rotterdam, he called and said, hey, put me in. I want to fight this guy. Why not? Got the fight at UFC 220 and fought Bochniak. But he's asking for this. He's not afraid of Zabit. He wants this fight. And to your point, you said it's a win-win situation. He got a brand new contract before even having to do the fight. Right. So he's got some stability and knows that he can go out there and just let it all hang out. And to the beauty of the Bochniak fight, Bochniak was not willing to engage him, but he sure did engage Zabit. Right. So maybe he didn't feel as threatened against Zabit.
And you see UFC veteran Alan Belcher in the corner of Brandon Davis. He said he and Belcher disagreed a little bit in terms of the striking game plan here tonight, so perhaps the strategy is sort of a meshing of the two. But when you take a fight on this short notice, regardless of opponent, the focus for Davis really was just getting the cardio up. Said he played basketball with John Dobson for 3 hours earlier this week. We'll see what Davis has been able to do and if he can solve the puzzle that is Zabit Magomedsharipov. Well, you talk about taking a sport by storm. Enter the 15th ranked featherweight in the world. Zabit Magomedsharipov was to face Yair Rodriguez here tonight. But Rodriguez is out due to injury. In steps Davis. Zabit's been on the roster a year and 6 days dating to his debut. Believes he's ready for the elite fighters right now.
Well, he is spectacular. And I mean, what an incredibly diverse skill set this man has. Fantastic takedowns, an amazing submission game. Unbelievable traditional martial arts kicking and striking style, and long and tall for the division, plus just unpredictable with his trips. His movement just seems to know what the opponent is not considering right before he executes.
Every time Zabit Magomedsharipov fights, he becomes a bigger favorite. In his UFC debut, minus 400, then minus 650. Bochniak's minus 800. In this one, he's minus 1,400. So the more people get to watch him, the more they respect the skill and respect the dominance that he's put out. I mean, he looks like he just woke up out of bed. Kind of favors Abraham Lincoln. He's got hair all scraggly, and people love him. Some people just have that thing. We talked about this earlier. And Zabit has that thing from his stance to the way he looks. People love him, man. And this kid can become a huge star.
Well, I remember the very first time I watched him fight live, which was the Kyle Bochniak fight. And I remember immediately saying, like, oh, okay. When you see it live, you really appreciate his speed, his ability to close the distance, and his overall skill.
And he's got a Tony Ferguson quality. You can't keep the man out of the gym. All right, this Tail of the Tape brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with the fighting spirit since 1925. Zabit Magomedsharipov, 27 years old. Brandon Davis is 28. Zabit, the taller man by a few inches. Both fighters weighing in at 146 pounds. Slightest of reach advantages with the Dagestani Zabit Magomedsharipov. Here now, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 9 wins, 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of the Ironville, Mississippi, Brandon Killer B. Davis. introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist, fully professional record, 15 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 1 and 1/2 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, Zabit Magomedsharipov. The action begins. Our referee in charge, Jacob Montalvo.
Jacob Montalvo, second main card assignment for him. Brittany Palmer with us tonight. Ariane Celeste, Vanessa Hansen in the building as well, and so is Zabit Magomedsharipov. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit. Since 1925, Magomedsharipov is in white, Brandon Davis is in black.
Is tonight the night? Is tonight the night that the buffer fist bump curse takes a dump? I mean, Diego did it earlier, got the victory. Brandon Davis just did it again. Can he go 2-0? Can the bump go 2-0 in one night?
I guess we'll see.
Do you have overall stats on the buffer?
I'm compiling them, Joe.
And you submit them to your bookie?
Zabit working off the jab here early. So hard to know what's coming. A lot of spinning attacks.
But again, Brandon Davis is a very solid professional fighter, and you're seeing that right away. He's feinting, he's moving, he's switching stances, he's throwing good combinations, he's giving Zabit a lot to think about, and so far Zabit has not timed him.
He hasn't thrown anything yet.
Not much.
Yeah,
he's figuring it out.
Yeah, he's trying to figure it out, almost piecing together what's happening. Crazy thing is, Brandon Davis has been taken out 14 times in 3 UFC fights. Zabit has scored 17 takedowns. So we are all like taken back by his striking, but it's his wrestling too, his ability to mix everything up that has people excited.
His beautiful trips too. That's some of the things that are most impressive about him, is the way he sets them up. He'll hop in like he's about to do a kick and then complete it with a trip. Yeah, there's such a wild skill set.
That was the first thing Davis acknowledged when we sat down with him on Thursday. Also said, though, that he didn't feel like Magomedsharipov's jiu-jitsu was phenomenal, so felt like maybe he'd have some advantages there. We'll see.
Ooh. He stung him with that jab.
But these Mississippi guys are not intimidated by these fight atmospheres. You can be sure. Davis, the first UFC fighter this year to make 4 appearances.
And that's a big factor as well, right? Because he's real loose. He's been fighting a lot. And because of that, he's used to the experience. He's in great shape. And he's comfortable being inside the octagon. It looks good so far.
Zabit's almost switching stances on every kick. Watch the kicks. Davis throws a kick. He lands it partially, and then Zabit changes. He's almost changing stance on his attacks.
Well, he landed a good counter left hook there off the leg kick of Brandon Davis, but that leg kick landed.
And Davis did say he wanted to force a lot of stance switches out of Zabit.
There's that trip attempt, but it failed. He tried to hop in sideways like he's done in the past. He's excellent at that.
And on Thursday, Brandon Davis said, oh, I remember that trip. He said, we actually trained to try to stop it. And in the first attempt, he sure did. He stopped it.
And he looked at him like, I know what you're doing.
He's doing a good job of pressuring him. Yeah, he's doing a good job of pressuring Zabit.
He looks good on his feet, too. Like what he's doing. Oh, stunning left hook.
Got to be careful.
Another left hand lands for Magomedsharipov, but if you're Brandon Davis, you probably take these first 3 minutes.
Well, as we said coming into this fight, he's a giant underdog. No one expects him to win other than maybe his camp.
And he's fighting well.
Fighting
he landed a lot of kicks.
He looks loose, too. He looks loose. He's throwing a lot of feints. There's a lot of movement. He's giving Zabit a lot to process.
Nice stick on the jab and a right hand from Zabit.
That was a very good right hand by Zabit. Good inside leg kick by Zabit, and then switches stance. You know, constantly switching. And he can fight just as well from either position. Right leg forward or left leg. Look at that. Jump switch kick.
And by the time you get Magomedsharipov out of your mouth, Davis had landed an uppercut moments ago, but now the grappling game.
out of nowhere. Misses the punch, and Zabit timed it perfectly.
And ducked right under it.
Yep.
Brandon's doing a good job of pushing those hands down. Get that elbow back inside. He's got to find a way to get his elbow back inside.
Under 30 seconds to go in the round. Back elbow landed for Davis. Now he lands.
Davis right back up to his feet, though.
And that takes a lot of energy. If you're Zabit, you got to lift the man. You got to take the man down. You expect some top control. Davis did a good job of getting back up to his feet. It's a big action, but it seems wasted because you don't get to control your opponent.
Look at that. Oh, beautiful left hook to the body.
Entertaining first round between Davis and Magomed Sharipov. Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC.
Round,
Try their new UFC flavor, Octagon Orange, exclusively available at 7-Eleven.
Keep that same pace you had in the very beginning, all right? He can't handle you, okay? You stay on that leg, all right? That leg, those low leg kicks are a fucking game changer, all right? And you're doing perfect too by switching to that body kick when you switch to southpaw.
Low kicks look good.
Yeah.
Hey, you won that round.
Hey, take some deep breaths in your nose, out your mouth.
As soon as he gets close enough to the clinch, move. Don't let him clinch with you. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I like the pressure though on the cage.
Yeah.
Perfect pressure. Just move him back. He didn't like it. He was trying to look confident. He didn't like it. You're looking good, man.
Good job.
Really good.
You know, the language barrier is such that sometimes you don't know if Zabit feels the pressure, right? But if you take him at his word, he doesn't feel the pressure being a minus 1,400 favorite walking in here.
No, he feels like this is where he belongs. He said even though Brandon Davis is a last-minute opponent change, he said he wasn't worried about him at all. But I think after that first round and all those leg kicks he took, you better start to respect Brandon Davis.
And Davis threw another couple of leg kicks. And Zabit jumps on his back one more time.
Now this up against the fence is where Davis told us he did not want to be.
Uh-oh. Zabit's on his back.
Davis was very confident in his takedown defense in the open. He said that he's only been taken out once in the open by someone in the UFC. So a lot of the takedowns come from by the fence, like you said, Johnny. Right now, Zabit's got his back up against the fence.
And he gets the takedown.
And his ground control is absolutely outstanding. Davis getting warm for interlocking his toes in the fence there.
Davis is, the way he's getting up, he's leaving a lot of space. Like he's pushing off and trying to get up. But he's leaving the opening for Zabit to grab hold of him again.
Said he thought Zabit's wrestling was phenomenal. He just didn't think his jiu-jitsu and his top control was all that impressive. And I think that's why you see him just turning to his knees and trying to get up when he gets taken down and not worry about the submission attempts.
And Davis's first martial art was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Founded a Jiu-Jitsu club when he was a student at Mississippi State University at 20 years old.
Well, this has been a lot of control in this round by Zabit, even if it hasn't been effective in terms of like doing too much damage.
Yes.
And Davis he's got to do something different here. He's got to separate. He's got to make something happen because he's giving this round away. Zabit's got him down.
Because he's got him in a 2-on-1 armbar there. So all the weight fell on the shoulder. Davis has got to do a better job of clearing that wrist.
Davis forced to eat a couple left-handeds. He makes his way back to his feet. We'll see for how long.
He's got that 2-on-1 there. Davis needs to reach under and use his right hand as like a crowbar to pop it off. He's got to reach under, grab his own wrist, and pop it off, or he's going to be stuck here. He's taking some big shots.
Real big right hands here. But Davis back up to his feet. He's got to separate. Now he's got a chance. Separate.
He's going to get thrown here, man. He's got to be careful.
And he's straight.
You hear his corner. Watch the throws. Watch the throws.
Good kick there, but look at that good return kick.
Zabit doesn't give you a whole lot of time to reset. Just over 2 minutes here to go round two. There's just such a fluidity. It just mixes everything so seamlessly.
Got him with it.
He got him.
And he got his wrist again. Look at that. 2-on-1. Reaching across. Now he's trying to get his legs in.
He's got both hooks now. He's got that back mount. And Davis is in a lot of trouble here. That arm's going under the chin.
Yep. He's got to attack that hand. If you're Davis, you got to be attacking that hand right now.
Zabit exercising some patience here, softening Davis up.
He's going to shake him off.
This happens again.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, he's got a bit of a banana split.
Oh, man. Same arm bar. Or same knee bar, rather.
But this guy,
look at that.
Davis
There it is. 2-in-1 UFC. That is insane. That is insane. We've had one ever in the history of the UFC. 2 in a night.
Just when you thought you have seen it all, twice tonight, Mark Henry lofts Zabit Magomedsharipov in the air. 4-0 in the UFC. 3 of those wins by way of submission for the oncoming featherweight force, Zabit Magomedsharipov.
Incredible. What are the odds?
Minus 1,400.
That is crazy.
All right, let's take
the
a
odds
look.
are way greater that that happens.
Right.
2 in a UFC. If you got to put a bet on that.
This replay brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
There's that beautiful trip that he loves. And then once he got him on the ground and got his back, look how he ducks under, grabs a hold of the leg, drops him, and extends that knee bar. That is the less painful version of it. Cody Stamann got the sideways one from Aljo. The sideways one sucks. But this one's not fun either. And the way he got it, he hung in there for a little bit. You see him just trying not to tap. Man. But this is a hamstring ripper, and he just couldn't take it anymore.
He wasn't going anywhere.
Man, so impressive.
Yeah, he was in for the night.
Well, Kenny Robertson did it at UFC 157. He's got to be sitting somewhere in the Midwest thinking, you got to be kidding me.
Yes, for sure.
The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS. Get knockout coverage of the UFC on a network that covers 99% of people in the UFC.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jacob Montalvo has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 46 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by submission due to a knee bar, Zabit Magomedsharipov.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Zabit Magomedsharipov. First of all, congratulations on another spectacular victory. It is so insane to see 2 of those knee bars in a night from the back mount. There's only been one ever in the history of the UFC. 2 in a night now.
В первую очередь поздравляем тебя с этой замечательной победой. И это было очень удивительно, ведь за один вечер 2 одинаковых болевых приема на колено. Что ты скажешь про это?
Спасибо большое за поздравления. Мы с моим тренером, с Рикардо Алмейдой, до этого, когда готовились именно, мы видели, что он спину отдавал, и мы над этим работали. Он говорил, что у меня в грэпплинге проблемы. Я хотел доказать, что у меня везде все хорошо.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, that's the job of my coach, Ricardo Almeida. We've been working on this back in the gym. And my opponent keeps saying that I have a problem with the grapplings, and I just trying to prove him that I don't have any problems with my grappling.
Now, you stepped into this fight on very short notice because your opponent fell out, and it's very difficult to find fighters willing to face you at this point in your career. Is that frustrating to you?
Твой оппонент выбыл на очень коротком уведомлении, и тяжело для тебя найти соперника. Это тебя как-то расстраивает?
Меня вначале расстроило, что уже очень мало времени осталось до турнира, что они не найдут мне замену. Спасибо руководству UFC и моему сопернику, что принял бой. Я надеюсь, я залечу свои травмы. Это спорт, всякое бывает, никто не застрахован от травм.
Well, of course, I was frustrated and I was worried that the UFC won't be able to find me an opponent. But I want to say thanks to matchmakers, they found an opponent. I want to say to Brendan that he took this fight. And I hope Yair Rodriguez is going to heal up soon and come back.
Well, we would love to see you again against the top contender. And congratulations on another outstanding victory.
Хотим тебя поздравить и надеемся увидеть тебя как можно быстрее в октагоне.
Thank you. John Mendes, let's go!
Chad Mendes, let's go.
Chad Mendes, you heard it. Zabit, ladies and gentlemen, Zabit Magomedsharipov.
And chalk one up for Ricardo Almeida, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tonight. Zabit Magomedsharipov, 16-1. He has won 12 consecutive fights. All right, coming up next, we will get to the co-main event already. This locker room look brought to you by The Predator. The hunt has evolved. Meet the Ultimate Fighter. The Predator in theaters Friday. And perhaps the next strawweight contender will emerge here in this one tonight. Jessica.
As if he can't be knocked out, but he can and he will.
Oh! He slapped him!
I'm on a different level.
I want to change his face.
We have to finish this. Let's go.
It's over before it even begins. Shot by shot, he will crumble.
You're blessed that I chose to whoop your ass next. The king is back!
Wow. I cannot wait for this fight. I know it sounds like we yell this every time, but it's true. I can't wait for this fight. You have Khabib Nurmagomedov, undefeated, undisputed lightweight champion of the world. This guy had 21 takedowns in one fight. He's got 47 takedowns already in his UFC career. Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov does not want to win versus Conor McGregor. He wants to smash him. He wants to change his face. Not only does he want to beat him in the fight, he feels disrespected by the bus accident. He says they could have fought in Brooklyn in April. Khabib believes that if they need to, he can fight Conor McGregor in the afternoon, come back in a few hours and fight somebody else. He thinks he's going to smash Conor McGregor.
I feel there are two questions in this fight. The question is, can Khabib stand with Conor McGregor? And can Conor McGregor keep Khabib from taking him down?
Yep.
If either one of those things are answered in one person's favor, this fight is, this is a potential blowout fight one way or the other. And with Conor going into the Eddie Alvarez fight, a lot of people thought that was going to be a very competitive fight. And we saw how that went. Conor starched him. He has a unique ability to withstand pressure, to stay calm in these big fights like the Jose Aldo fight. Aldo was so worked up, and Conor just lit him up like a Christmas tree. The same thing with Eddie Alvarez. He's got beautiful timing, spectacular one-punch knockout power, and an unstoppable belief in himself. But can he stop the takedown from the best grappler the division has ever seen?
J.A., he's game. That's the one thing that's overlooked about Conor McGregor. He's not scared of anybody, and he'll fight anybody. This dude's the real deal. You cannot take Conor lightly. You better be ready to go once they close that octagon door.
And this will be a big fight atmosphere that Khabib Nurmagomedov has not necessarily experienced before. October 6th, folks. Coming up 28 days from now. While you're watching us, The Predator, though, is watching you see The Ultimate Fighter in theaters this Friday. Well, it's already been a big night for the UFC Women's Strawweight division. Tatiana Suarez moving on up as we show you the top 5 at 115 pounds. They're all chasing Rose Namajunas, but whoever wins this co-headliner tonight, second-ranked Jessica Andrade, number 4 Karolina Kowalkiewicz, at the very least, figures to provide an intriguing option for the champion. Andrade has never fought her. Kowalkiewicz has a head-to-head win over Namajunas. Needless to say, the stakes are high here tonight at 115 pounds between the number 2 and number 4 ranked fighters in the world. An intriguing style matchup here with major divisional implications. Former title challengers Jessica Andrade and Karolina Kowalkiewicz are destined to deliver the goods. Jessica Andrade and Karolina Kowalkiewicz have already been near the top of the strawweight mountain. And although they fell just shy of championship gold the first time around, recent winning streaks have both contenders in line for another shot at the title with a win here tonight.
Bom, para essa luta eu tô disposta a arriscar tudo. É a minha oportunidade, é a minha chance, é o meu sonho e eu quero me tornar a próxima campeã. Então eu vou dar o meu melhor, eu vou dar o meu máximo e eu vou sair com essa vitória.
This fight is very important for me and for Jessica because girl who win this fight will be fight for title.
Poland's Karolina Kowalkiewicz may be the calmest fighter in the world in the moments before battle. But once it is time to fight, caution flammable. Kowalkiewicz turns into a fierce competitor, and her last 2 wins over Jodie Esquibel and Felice Herrig have her closing in on a rematch with champion Rose Namajunas.
fight for the belt again. This is my biggest goal, but first I have to win with Jessica, and I focus only on Jessica, only on that fight.
After reinventing herself at 115 pounds, former bantamweight contender Jessica Andrade has won 5 of 6 bouts, with each win seemingly more impressive than the last. And while wins over Claudia Gadelha and Tecia Torres were satisfying, none would be bigger than the one she can get here and now over Kowalkiewicz.
Bom, a chave para vencer a Carolina é não dar espaço para ela, não deixar ela trabalhar, encurralar na grade e fazer o meu trabalho. Eu acho que essa é a verdadeira chave, entrar lá e tentar nocautear o tempo todo.
Well, this is Karolina Kowalkiewicz in a nutshell, sort of a docile demeanor, very emotional as she makes the walk, but this is a strong, tough fighter. She has acknowledged that this Andrade fight, Joe, is going to be the toughest of her career, but she's coming in off a huge win over Felice Herrig that many would argue was the best performance of her UFC career to date.
Well, she certainly is, but Andrade is a very, very, very difficult opponent in this division. At 115 pounds, she is a tank. She's so physically strong. You see fighters get overwhelmed by her. But Karolina Kowalkiewicz, what we saw from her fight with Joanna Jędrzejczyk is just sheer toughness. What we saw from the Felice Herrig fight, she's so strong and so tough and so durable and has such an excellent striking style. Plus, she's longer and taller. So the thought is that her strength is going to neutralize the pressure and the power of Andrade, and her advanced striking is just going to be able to keep her in the victory column.
She's going to have to keep her at bay.
Tonight's prep point, DC, brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
She's going to have to keep Andrade at bay. She's going to have to fight that Jędrzejczyk did. She has to keep her away from her because, as we've seen, when Andrade is able to initiate the grappling, she's too much. In these last 2 fights, she's landed over 125 strikes in the last 2 fights. So at range, she will be okay and be able to outwork Andrade.
Yeah, the real question is, can Kowalkiewicz's physical strength keep Andrade off of her? We're going to find that out soon.
Well, she's got the best takedown defense in strawweight history. Perhaps that will be useful here tonight against Jessica Andrade. Well, she is one of Brazil's best DC and has been for some time. The #2 ranked strawweight contender, Jessica Andrade. No woman in UFC history has made more appearances. 14th UFC start for Andrade here tonight. Joanna Jędrzejczyk next with 11. And most people believe, champ, that at some point in time, Andrade is going to have a UFC gold belt around that waist.
She's a nightmare matchup for some of the higher level strikers in the division. And when that's the case, you normally will achieve that championship goal. Since she's gone to 115, 6 fights, she's got 20 takedowns. She works at a ferocious pace, and she's so physically strong that she just gets right after her opponents, and then she just overwhelms them. Whereas Kowalkiewicz has landed 145 strikes in the last couple fights. Listen to this. In 3-round fights, Andrade has landed 206 strikes, 141, 131, and 117 significant strikes. She is working at she's working at a NASCAR type of pace. She's not working at a guy driving on the highway kind of fast. She's driving on a crash course. She's unbelievable.
The only woman in recent memory that's been able to slow her down has been former champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who won a decision over her for the title. Kowalkiewicz and Joanna had a very close fight. That's what makes this interesting to me.
All right, this tail of the tape brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Jessica Andrade, 26 years old. She'll be 27 later this month. Kowalkiewicz is 32. Karolina, the taller woman, by 1.5 inches. She will have a 2-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the introductions for this co-main event. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. This bout is sponsored by The Hunt Has Evolved. Meet the Ultimate Fighter, the Predator, in theaters Friday. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC strawweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 13 wins, 2 losses. She stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 115 pounds. Fighting out of Łódź, Poland, presenting the number 4 ranked strawweight contender in the world, Karolina Now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record, 18 wins, 6 losses. She stands 5 feet 1 and 1/2 inches tall, weighing in at 116 pounds. Fighting out of Niterói, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting the number 2 ranked strawweight contender in the world, Jessica And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Kerry Hatley.
Kerry Hatley, our referee for this one. The beautiful Ariane Celeste getting us started for round 1 of this co-main event tonight. To be contested at 115 pounds, there is the perennial contender in more than one division, Jessica Andrade. The calm, cool, and collected whole Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925.
Oh! She heard her. She heard it quick.
She heard it already. Oh, she heard it back.
Oh! A big left from Andrade. Kowalkiewicz forced to retreat.
Andrade reminds me of a young Vanderlei Silva.
Yes.
The style, I mean, just winging punches, nasty power. Oh, she heard her again.
Kowalkiewicz staying composed 30 seconds in. Now she touches Andrade.
Karolina's so tough. Oh, nice jab. Oh, nice right hand by Kevin.
Good knee to the body.
Andrade says her hands feel faster at 115 pounds. Kowalkiewicz can likely attest to that here early. Furious start for the -500 favorite Jessica Andrade.
But it has to be, right? Because Suarez looked so good earlier, you have to come out and make a statement.
Right.
If you're Jessica Andrade or Karolina Kowalkiewicz, you got to look good.
Yeah, if you want a shot at the title, you've got to show somebody something special here tonight.
And the way that Andrade has started, I don't know how anyone could deny it.
She clipped her again.
Yep. Nice uppercut from Kowalkiewicz.
Karolina stands in there and fights, man.
Nice combination, a 1-2 from Andrade. Oh! That durability of Kowalkiewicz being tested early. Another right hand lands for the Brazilian.
What she can't do is back up to the fence, though. She's got to try to stay in the open, because when Andrade corners her, she lets everything fly.
She needs more of this movement.
Yep.
And keep with that jab. She's had some success sticking that jab out there, and then
Jessica Andrade!
Whoa!
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh!
Karolina Kowalkiewicz out cold.
Wow.
Jessica Andrade with a performance for the ages tonight. That's one for the real, DC.
I'm not sure, honestly. I've watched since the ladies have been fighting mixed martial arts. I don't think I've seen many one-punch knockout.
Right.
That is crazy. That was one big hook that put her out.
That was
so
incredible.
powerful.
With respect to Holly Holm and the rest, you might have just seen the most impressive knockout in UFC women's history. This replay brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
I think Holly Holm over Ronda Rousey was more impressive, but not with one punch. There's something about that.
That's all, yeah.
Something about that one punch. I mean, that just snapped the neck back like a
look
car
at that,
accident.
man. But that's because she's got her so scared. Karolina's eyes are closed. She doesn't even see that thing at all. It's the ones you don't see that puts you out. She didn't see that right hand, man. But it's from the work that Jessica did earlier in the fight. Eyes are closed. She's just trying to throw something in defense and got lit up. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Unbelievable.
You got to look good to earn a title fight? Well, guess what she just did? She looked real good. Holy smokes. Good luck being Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard trying to decide now.
I mean, with Jeff Neal and Abdul Razak Al Hassan, Tatiana Suarez, on and on it goes. Aljamain Sterling, Zabit. A lot of competition for bonus money here tonight, but a one-strike knockout for Jessica Andrade, who moves to 6-1 at 115 pounds. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS. Get knockout coverage of the UFC on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kerry Hatley has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 58 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, Jessica Buckeyestaka Andrade.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Jessica Andrade, and what a spectacular victory that was. A very rare one-punch knockout. It's so rare that you see that in the women's strawweight division, but you have that kind of power.
Bom, mais uma vez eu conseguindo fazer história aqui no UFC, tudo graças ao meu mestre, o mestre Paraná, a todo o treinamento que ele faz comigo, a PRVT Girls, minha sogra, meu sogro, minha esposa. Muito obrigado. Sem vocês nada disso era possível. Ao Vasco, que tem me ajudado muito com a fisioterapia. Então, muito obrigado. Marquinhos, para quem tá fazendo aniversário hoje, Jéssica Delboni, Carol Rosa. Não, aniversário. Mãe do Marquinhos, a Joara, todo mundo. Beijão, obrigado.
So a lot of this is just proof of the work that my coach and my team have been doing. You know, today is the birthday of a few people in my gym. You know, all props to them. If I did this here today, it's because of all the work that they have been putting on together with me.
Jessica, there are several fighters right now vying for a position for the #1 contender to get the next shot at the title. You just made a huge statement here tonight. Do you feel that this is enough to warrant a title shot?
Eu quero muito esse cinturão. Dana, você tá aqui hoje. Faz isso acontecer, dia 29 de dezembro. Eu quero lutar pelo cinturão com a Carolina, com a Ana Mayunas. Me coloque, eu quero o cinturão. Vamos lutar, eu tô pronta. Eu sei que eu posso.
Dana White doesn't understand, but he understands.
You know, Dana, I'm ready. I'm here to prove that I'm better than I've ever been. You know, 29th December, there's a huge card with both Brazilians fighting for the belt. I want to be fighting for a belt there too.
Woo! Congratulations on a spectacular performance. Jessica Andrade, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, what an unbelievable performance by Jessica Andrade. When you had to come up big, right? When all the chips are on the table, she went out there and she cashed in. She went all in and made a statement. I mean, that right hand shut the lights off right away. Unreal that she did this at 115 pounds. Carolina Kowalkiewicz was out before she even hit the mat. What a performance.
And this is the best division in women's MMA, and I think Rose Namajunas with a lot to think about after what happened tonight with Suarez and, of course, Andrade.
Yeah, I mean, two terrifying opponents that just emerged. I mean, it's a really stacked division now. But, man, that was amazing. And the fact that she did it to Kowalkiewicz, that's what's impressive, because Kowalkiewicz is so tough. Oh, look at that.
There is the UFC flyweight champion, Henry Cejudo, continuing to call out the bantamweight king, TJ Dillashaw. Kamala Usman in the building, as is the likely future champion at some point, Valentina Bullet Shevchenko. Well, you may have heard we are 4 weeks out, ladies and gentlemen. October 6th. Must-see TV in every sense. Khabib Nurmagomedov, Conor McGregor under the lights. It is the hottest ticket in UFC history.
Khabib, the Eagle!
His grappling, his striking, everything he does is world class. 26-0.
The notorious Conor McGregor!
Surprise, surprise, the king is back!
The world will be watching.
The hype behind this contest is insane. I cannot wait to see it. The most epic fight in the history of the UFC. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. That is a card. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor, the biggest, most anticipated fight in the history of the sport. Tony Ferguson comes back against Anthony Pettis, who looked like the Anthony Pettis of old against Michael Chiesa.
Yeah.
Abandoned all the wrestling and said, listen, man, I'm just going to be a badass striker, and then when dudes take me down, I'm going to submit them, and that's exactly what he did. Those two fights alone are absolutely sensational. I'm so looking forward to that.
And the prelim lineup on FS1, the Sugar Show returns. Sean O'Malley against Jose Quinones. Sergio Pettis fighting on the same card as his brother Anthony Showtime Pettis against perennial threat Jussier Formiga. One bout to be determined. We will also have a women's bantamweight showcase between Aspen Ladd and Tanya Evinger October 6th. Shaping up as one of the biggest nights in mixed martial arts history. Join us in Las Vegas.
Anybody who knows anything about fighting recognizes the ultimate badass, the Predator. They're large, they're fast, and ripping out your spine is the idea of a vacation. Check out this special look of the Predator in theaters everywhere this Friday.
What's on the ship?
The thing that killed my men.
Predator, Friday.
All right, now live from American Airlines Center here in Dallas, Texas, it is time for the main event for UFC 228, Woodley versus Till. So here we go, man. John Anik, Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier. A lot of interesting components to this fight here tonight. What are your expectations, though, as to what we might see here in the early going tonight?
One of my things that I'm most curious about is how much wrestling does Woodley do? Because he's a great wrestler, but we rarely see it in his fights, particularly his last few fights. He used it a little bit to keep Damian Maia off of him, but in the both Wonder Boy fights, all we saw was his striking.
Right.
I want to see his wrestling. I want to see him mix things up. I want to see level changes and takedown attempts.
I believe if Tyron Woodley mixes everything up, there aren't many people that can go with him. I mean, he's won and defended his belt on multiple occasions without even using what was his best skill. If he fights a one-dimensional fight against Darren Till, he could find himself in some trouble. But that's my key too, Joe. How much effort is Tyron going to put into wrestling tonight to make this fight easy for himself? This is a massive opportunity for Tyron to make a statement and a massive opportunity for Darren Till to become an MMA superstar.
Right. And there's also a question of how good is Darren Till? We saw how good he looked against Cowboy. He stopped Cowboy, but Cowboy might have taken him lightly and didn't even watch tape on him. Then we saw how good he was against Wonder Boy, but it's a very close fight. Tyron Woodley's a totally different kind of fighter, and Tyron Woodley possesses real dangerous one-punch knockout power. We saw it against Robbie Lawler. We saw it against Josh Koscheck. Right. We see it against many fighters in his career. There's a lot of unknowns, but we're so lucky we're about to see it.
Well, one known is that Darren Till's rise to prominence has been nothing short of spectacular. Tonight, though, he draws one of the greatest UFC welterweight champions of all time. Tyron Woodley looking to leave Dallas the way he came in as the undisputed welterweight king.
I'm not scared of anyone. From the minute I started mixed martial arts, I knew I was going to be the best fighter in the world. The rise has been a lot faster than people expected, and even myself, I have just ran through everyone.
Oh, look at that! Beautiful work! Cowboy's turned away from his opponent. My God, I've taken a look. What a stoppage! Darren Till shocks the world!
And Darren Till has taken out a legend. I believe I'm the best fighter alive. I say it time and time again, and I believe it.
I am going to be the champion at some point. For me, it's not if, it's when. I feel indestructible.
Ladies and gentlemen, a superstar in the making, Darren Till!
I'm a light heavyweight fighting in the welterweight division. Look how powerful I am.
Dick man, he is eating. He's out. He's out.
I am the best striker in the welterweight division. In fact, in the whole of the UFC, I am the best.
Who does the gorilla want next?
Everyone and anyone, I don't care. I'm not scared of anyone. They're all getting it.
People are going to eventually start getting it, that I'm not letting these young kids come up and make their name off me. This is my throne. It's going to be very difficult for any of these welterweights to beat me. I'll be undeniably one of the best welterweights, if not the best welterweight that ever graced the octagon, and that's my goal. This belt ain't going anywhere until I get done fighting.
Oh, he tagged him. Big shot. It is all over. Tyron Woodley.
He don't have the experience I've had. He hasn't been in there with the killers I've been in there with. I fought fight for this belt. Everybody think they want something until they lock that octagon and he gonna see it.
Woodley looking to finish. It is all over.
So whatever you want when you're not facing me, but when you're in my presence, you know that there's a presence and there's an energy to be reckoned with. I'm coming to completely destroy this man.
He's not gonna outstrike me. He's not gonna out-wrestle me. He's not gonna outgrind me. I'm gonna just let him talk the talk.
Respect as the champion, but you know I'm still coming to knock him clean out on September 8th.
Because at the end of the day, when they lock the cage, I'm still gonna do the same thing. Whoop his
For time in the walk, 18 have tried. No one has succeeded in beating Darren Till in mixed martial arts tonight. This Muay Thai master, this infectious talent, is favored, albeit slightly, to become the UFC welterweight champion of the world.
It really is crazy that he's favored. When you think about the fact that he's only 25 years old, his two victories that are really important are a very, very close decision over Wonder Boy and a knockout victory over a man who really should be fighting at 155 pounds. But it's what he's able to do when he's in there, the way he knocked out Cowboy, what you see from him in training, the way he talks. There's the cult of personality about this young man. There's something about him. He's magnetic and he's scary. He's a very scary welterweight, and he's huge. Very difficult cut to make 170, and he's likely to be close to 200 pounds right now.
He got big overnight. He got big overnight, J.A. and Joe.
Well, and he said to anyone within earshot that his future is in the UFC's middleweight division, but he understands there's unfinished business here, not just to become the champion, but to try to defend the title. Tonight's Prep Point brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872. But for Darren Till, 17-0-1, 7th UFC appearance here tonight, and really show people what he could do against one of the better strikers in UFC history, Stephen Thompson. It was a tactical fight over 25 minutes, and that set the stage for this championship opportunity.
Yeah, it was a point fight, and he out-point fighted a guy that won 70 kickboxing fights. But what I can't believe is, this kid's a star. You hear this whole arena singing this song? He picked the perfect song to walk out to. People love Darren Till. And tonight, Darren Till has a big opportunity to become something so much more than just the second English world champion. He can become a true star by beating a guy as accomplished as Tyron Woodley.
His head coach Colin Heron said we're going to see a panicky Tyron Woodley here tonight. Darren will capitalize, and eventually he will knock him out and become the UFC welterweight champion. All eyes on the knockout artist Darren Till tonight. They are watching in Liverpool and beyond. Will the Gorilla complete his mission here tonight? Some answers in short order. making the walk for his 12th UFC appearance. He is the chosen one, the UFC welterweight champion, Tyron Woodley. He has said this is a fight to kill the hype, and whether he's after some overdue appreciation or not, a huge opportunity, Daniel, for Tyron Woodley tonight to defend the belt for a 4th time and mute the Darren Till hype train.
Yeah, he can shut all that down right now, and he intends on shutting that down. This young man feels he's always underappreciated for who he is, the professional, the champion, the guy that's been around forever. And you saw it in his demeanor this week. He's been angry. He's been upset. He wants to go out there and put a beating on Darren Till. This guy is one of the greatest welterweight champs of all time. And I'm trying to do his walkout, but Mama Woodley's right behind me dancing. The whole family's getting down. I want to dance. I want to move. Can I move, Joe Rogan?
You can move, Daniel Cormier. You can move. What Tyron Woodley is without a doubt, as of right now, one of the greatest welterweights of all time. And I think one of the reasons why he's underappreciated is because of the quality of his opponents, particularly Wonderboy Thompson and Damian Maia. Two guys that are incredibly difficult to look good against. If you want to beat Wonderboy, you kind of got to fight a boring fight.
Right.
And he did, and he won twice, and he hurt Wonderboy. And it was essentially a kickboxing fight. He was the one landing the vicious blows, and he was the one that had the fight very close to stop. In the Damian Maia fight, tore his labrum in the very first round, but shut down Damian Maia, did what he could, did what he had to do to keep his title. Since then, got shoulder surgery, 100% recovered. Now he sees all this hype about this young upstart, and he's hungry to shut this man down and shut the lights out on another young contender.
T. Woods got the best striking defense on paper among active welterweights. He's talked a lot leading up to this one about being a bully, chain wrestling, wrist control, things like that. Woodley was as exciting as any contender. You're right, some of the matchups haven't resulted in the most exciting title fights, but Woodley is hell-bent on making a statement here tonight. He should have a willing opponent. Tyron Woodley said when he was undefeated, you don't think you're ever going to lose. He will try to bounce Darren Till from the ranks of the unbeaten tonight. This Till the tape for the main event, brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Tyron Woodley, 36. Darren Till will be 26 on Christmas Eve. He is the taller man, 6 feet versus 5'9", but less pronounced in the reach department, just a half-inch advantage for the gorilla Darren Till. Now for the introductions for this headliner, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, Executive Director Brian Francis. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Chris Lee, Steve Armstrong, and Aladdin Martinez. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Dan Bergliata. This championship bout is sponsored by Metro PCS. Brings you knockout coverage of the UFC on a pound-for-pound strong network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Motel 6, ready to tap out? Check into Motel 6 and save. We'll leave the light on for you. Book online at motel6.com. And P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. For the undisputed UFC welterweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding an undefeated professional record. 17 wins, no losses, 1 draw. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Liverpool, England, presenting the #2 ranked welterweight contender in the world, the challenger, Darren the Gorilla Till! And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 18 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, Tyron, the Chosen One, Woodley!
All right, gentlemen, been through the rules in the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all time. I want you to protect yourselves at all time. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Best of luck, both of you.
What an atmosphere inside American Airlines Center here in Dallas. These people, you get the sense they feel like they're about to witness something special. And will it be the night that Darren Till realizes UFC gold at just 25 years old? Tyron Woodley looking to prevent that from happening. Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Darren Till is in gray, Tyron Woodley in the black and gold, befitting a champion. Early flurry from the Chosen One.
Tyron connected.
Oh, nice. Tyron's starting much more aggressive than he normally does. And now he's into that clinch to try to get the takedown. This is a big moment. He needs to secure this takedown right now to show Darren Till that he's going to be wrestling.
Got double underhooks here. Tried the trip, never knee to the body. But just the fact that he's able to secure the clinch so quickly.
USA chants.
Trying to tie that leg up.
That's beautiful. T. Wood needs to do that if he's going to try to get a takedown. He's got to step around and use it to create an angle around Darren Till. But the length of Darren Till right now is giving him problems. He can't change the position. That was kind of quick.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Well, and if that's going to be the way this one's officiated, not good for Tyron Woodley. Was not given a lot of time to work there up against the fence.
Yeah.
Had the body lock, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, he did, and that's not as easy to achieve. But it showed that Till's able to stop that takedown. I mean, Tyron wanted to grab him, drag him to the ground. He got a hold of him and couldn't do anything with him. You got to remember that although Till doesn't have a grappling background, he has a Muay Thai background. And Muay Thai has a lot of grappling, particularly from the clinch. It's a huge factor. It's not just kickboxing.
Till had defended 15 of 18 takedowns of the UFC coming in. Looked like he got partially touched by that Woodley left hand there.
It seems like Tyron's trying to set a trap for him by backing up to the fence. That explosion like he did against Jay Heron and like he did against Josh Koscheck, where guys get a little bit overzealous and then he counters with that pullback right hand. But this right here, as this fight gets longer, Woodley cannot be back against the fence against a big guy like Darren Till.
As many expected, Till exercising some patience here early, has yet to land a significant strike, has only thrown a few.
Well, it's interesting that they have the same reach, and I would not have expected that. When you look at the two of them, Till looks much bigger, much longer. But on paper, Tyron Woodley has the exact same reach as him.
Till's going to have to get active soon, because right now, just based on output, Tyron's winning this round. Till's got to get going.
A moment ago, Dan Murgliata did warn Darren Till to make sure to keep those fingers pointed upright. Till acknowledged the warning. Just over 2 minutes to go here in round one of a possible fight. Tyron sticks and moves.
Till's being very patient, which is very unusual for a 25-year-old man. But he's a very, very patient fighter. He's wise and experienced beyond his years, and that's one of the reasons why people are so excited about him.
He showed that in the Wonder Boy fight. I mean, to be able to stand there and take pictures, that's what we call it. You know those types of fights, you're just taking pictures. He took pictures of Wonder Boy. He stood in front of him and he was okay with it.
Another good sign there for Darren Till. Pretty good entry from Woodley.
He's got to do something offensively, though. I mean, he's thrown 2 strikes in the whole first round. One key, though, is when Tyron went to the high crotch there and he came up to the clinch, Till immediately moved himself back to the side of the fence. So maybe his takedown defense has been against the side of the octagon this whole training camp. Because he didn't try to defend in the middle. He went to the side of the octagon.
And Dan Miragliotta's warning him again. And, you know, I'm not exactly sure what he wants. I mean, this is a difficult thing to do. To take a guy down up against the cage requires time, and you got to soften him up and work him over. Maybe as long as he just keeps moving and throwing knees to the thigh. Oh, look at this. Till turns him around.
Tyron's trying to step around that leg. He should go inside-out trip. If he trips with his right leg on the inside, he'd be able to take Darren Till down. I mean, he's got to let these guys fight a little bit, though.
I agree. It's part of the game.
So back to the center here, just about 30 seconds to go in the round. Till has offered up just 2 strike attempts thus far, perhaps pacing himself for 25 minutes here tonight. Both fighters with outstanding cardio.
Till's very aware of that pullback right hand Tyron does. His hands go right up to his head every time.
Till goes high with the kick, nothing doing. 5 minutes in the books.
An uneventful round, but you've got to give it to the champ.
Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Try their new UFC flavor Octagon Orange, exclusively available at 7-Eleven.
Okay, you can feel him. He's twitching already, isn't he? He's already not liking it. He's got no control. He's doing a little bit more than you, so he might have robbed the round. But he was doing too much switching already, so it's right what we planned. Okay, just be careful now. He's taking a lot to body and he wants to come over with it, maybe, so he's going to try and switch it about, okay? Nice.
Again, touch, yoke the second. Combination. Okay? When he kicks, remember 1-1-2 back. Coach.
Keep your activity level high. He's concerned with everything that you're doing. Every time you feint, he reacts to it. So come up high. Yep. Come up high and go back down low with a good shot, okay? But he's reacting to everything that you do, so you got to keep doing it.
Well done. Yep. You're looking good.
Keep him nervous, Tyler.
Vanessa Hansen getting us started for round 2. Joe, any major takeaways from the corners? Colin Heron for Till, and of course Dean Thomas, Duke Rufus on the other side.
Well, I like what they're saying about having Tyron more output, keep him moving, keep him guessing. I'd just like to see more from Darren Till. I think he's had the chance to feel him out. I'd like to see him become more aggressive.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Woodley and how... Oh, he tapped out for Woodley! Till covering up! Tyron Woodley, big elbows now!
Till's trying to pull him into the guard.
Oh! Tyron Woodley's landing bombs! Oh, big elbow!
Huge elbow from Woodley!
He's done, he's done!
No, he's still in!
Till's got to grab an underhook or something, though. Right now, he's just getting beat up.
He's getting smashed!
He's done! Till's done! Oh, he's trying to pull him in tight. Oh, big elbow by Tyron. He's got him cut now.
Big cut for Darren Till.
Huge cut on the forehead.
Tyron needs
another elbow from the top.
Tyron's got to be careful here not to empty the gas tank.
Right.
Oh, that was a big one there.
That one got the referee's attention too.
But as long as Till's moving, they'll give him a chance. As long as he's moving, they'll give him a chance.
And Till's got to figure out a way
to pull him in close.
Yeah, it's either pull him in close or tie up these arms. He's got to do something to keep these bombs from landing on his chin. Looks like he's recovered a little bit. He's trying to go into the leg, but he might get his guard passed. He's in big trouble still.
Still plenty of time, 3.5 minutes to go in the round. Woodley biding his time a little bit here.
Oh, another clean shot by Tyron. Every time he gets Till's turned sideways, he can find his shot. He's doing a good job of slowing down and not wasting energy here.
An extended breather here from Woodley, just over 3 minutes in the round. Till controlling posture.
Tyron easily just stepped over in the half guard now. And as he's holding him in position, he's beating him up here. That cut is pretty nasty. He's slicing across with his elbows now. Let's see if he passes his guard, slides that right leg through. He's popping it up.
Oh, he's cranking.
He's trying to slide it through, full mount. Oh, Till tried to roll him to no avail. Tyron's still on top.
This is good bottom defense by Darren Till to survive this. And then when Tyron went mount, he went hip escape, deep half guard. Right here, he's just trying to protect his head, not to take anything clean.
Trying to tuck under, but he's still getting hit by elbows.
T-Wood's doing a good job of posting off the head here and dropping the elbows. Yep, post elbow. Let it slide off the head and try to cut Darren Till more than he's cut right now.
And he's got a little bit of space now to put some power to these.
Woodley trying to control that left wrist, left arm of Darren Till. Under 2 minutes to go.
Another hard one.
Darren Till's got to get off of his side if he's to escape this, though. He's got to get up on this elbow. But Tyron's doing a good job of planting it down.
And he is just smashing them with these elbows. He's taken so many shots to the head in this round.
Well, he is as tough a customer as there is on this roster. Hell of a chin on Darren Till. Of course, he's never lost in MMA, but getting all he can handle here early in this fight from the incumbent Tyron Woodley.
But that's what you expect, right? You're fighting one of the best welterweights to ever do it. You got to expect some danger and some trouble at some point in the fight. Now it's going to be up to Tyron to either get him out of there or start to put a little bit more back in the reserve. You got to be careful here. Still got 3 rounds to fight.
And for Till, a minute to go in this round, he's got to figure out a way to either get back up to his feet or to protect. Oh, look out. He's looking for a darts. Looking for a darts. Tyron looking for a submission here.
He does have a darts choke on his resume. Darren Till not the tap and tight. They got the tap. Tyron Woodley,
baby.
Remains the welterweight champ. The path to welterweight gold still goes through Missouri.
T-Wood.
Wow.
T-Wood.
Wow. He shut it all down tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
T-Wood.
And you want to mute the naysayers and the haters. He just handed Darren Till his first loss in MMA and finished him no less in round 2.
I'm trying to remember the last time Tyron submitted somebody. If ever in the UFC, I don't think he's got a submission in the UFC.
He just got his black belt. He just got his black belt. He just got his black belt. He just got his black belt.
What a night for Tyron Woodley.
Wow.
He submitted Rudy Bears back in 2009 under the Strikeforce banner, I believe. Nod to the truck for that one. So Tyron Woodley, the newly minted Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he has now 4 times successfully defended this belt in one of the UFC's most difficult divisions. Of course, on the other side, a very gracious gorilla, Darren Till, coming over to acknowledge Tyron Woodley. Till just unable to get on track, got knocked down, and Woodley closed the show. We'll look back at it here. This replay brought to you by Nemiroff. Bold character since 1872.
Right here, pull back right hand, pull back right hand.
Boom.
He's been looking for it the whole
right
time.
In the jaw, dropped him, swarmed on him. I mean, props to Till for surviving that barrage because he got beat up and took some ferocious shots. But ultimately, Tyron Woodley figured out a way to finish him. And he figured out a way where Darren Till was trying to protect himself with that underhook, which led to the darts. See, he's got that underhook on that right side, on Till's right side, and Tyron slid that arm through, cinched it up on his bicep, and just flattened it out. And that is a nasty darts choke there, ladies and gentlemen. Look how tight that is. I mean, he is squeezing him in there.
It's like Till never noticed what was happening, right?
Yep.
He never recognized that Tyron was starting the submission. He stayed comfortable in that deep half guard. At a point, you have to recognize, this is danger. I should change something.
A lot of big nights in the career for Tyron Woodley, but you got to think this is the sweetest. The official decision is brought to you by Metro PCS. Get knockout coverage of the UFC on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. One final time tonight. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Murgliata has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 19 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by submission due to a darts choke, and still the undisputed UFC chosen one, Woodley.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the winner and still champ, Tyron Woodley. Now you got your black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well, and the first submission victory in the UFC. And how sweet is this victory? Coming in here against a young, undefeated challenger who odds makers had you an underdog against.
You know, you don't fight fights by the odds. First off, I want to thank God for causing me to triumph no matter what. There's a lot of people that are hating against me, but there's more people that are with me. So I want to thank my coaches, everybody that put this together. My son's birthday's today. Happy birthday, Darren. Shout out to the homie Wiz Khalifa's birthday today as well.
Tyron, coming into this fight, you were undoubtedly one of the greatest welterweights of all time. You cemented that here tonight. And let's take a look at how you did it. Look at this beautiful right hand that you caught him with and dropped him. I mean, this is picture perfect Tyron Woodley right here. Pull back, crack, dropped him. Were you surprised he was able to survive the ground and pound?
No, he's a tough kid. You know, I talked to my coach in the back. He said, Tyron, if you put him in a choke, he's probably not going to tap. If you put him in an armbar, he's probably not going to tap. You got to be ready to go all the way in. He's a long-range opponent. Me trying to punch him as he's backing up is very difficult. He counters extremely well with a straight left. I had to let him come in. I had to punch with him and weave in the punches. And I just took my time. On top, I landed some big shots. I saw he wasn't going away easy. I took my time and looked for the finish.
Now, when he was going in with that underhook and you were going to secure the darts, did you think he recognized what you were doing? Because a lot of people don't realize you have submission skills.
Yeah, he didn't recognize, because I saw him kept letting me slip my hand in there. And once he did that, I just put his top of his head on my stomach. And at that point, I knew I was going to hit it.
How sweet is this victory?
Man, it feels pretty awesome. You know, I don't believe in ring rust. When I won a world title, it was 18 months away. It's been over 14 months away this time. I'm a student of the game. I say training. I say mentally sharp. God glory.
Congratulations. And what do you feel is next for you? Do you feel you will stay in the welterweight division? I know you've talked about possibly moving up to 185 pounds. Do you see any big challenges out there that excite you?
Yeah, I see a huge challenge. Big announcement, guys. My single, I'll Beat Your Ass, is coming out next week, featuring Wiz Khalifa. Make sure you check it out on all platforms.
Who do you think of when you think of a next challenge?
You know, it's kind of tough to say, because anytime I say I want to fight a certain person, it doesn't get the response I want. So what I'm going to do is just continue to fight. Whoever they put in front of me, I'm going to beat them up. I'm the best welterweight of all times.
Congratulations, sir. Tyron Woodley, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm here with Darren Till. Darren, this is your first loss inside the octagon, your first shot at the title. What went wrong here tonight?
Tyron was the better man. Shit happens. I'm just gutted, but you know, mate, I've had losses before, MMA, and it just makes you stronger there. There's no excuses, mate. Tyron was the better man tonight, and make no mistake, I will come back stronger, and I will still solidify as being one of the best ever. The goal doesn't change, but fuck it, mate. It really, really hurts. It does hurt, especially the way I went out. So, you know, it is what it is, mate. Let Tyron have his night, and well done to him.
I know you prepared to the best of your ability for this fight, but was there anything inside the octagon that was surprising?
No, I knew he was powerful. I knew he had power punches. I just, you know, my strategy was just to feel him out in the first and see what he was about. I knew I was going to come forward, and he was, you know, he was trying, you know, he was using his strength a lot. So I thought, in the second or third, I'm going to start opening up on him and maybe knock him out. But, you know, silly, I left my hand down there. I just seen what he clipped me with, and it was a great shot, phenomenal. So, as I say, mate, well done to him. I'm just fucking gutted.
Darren, I'm sure he'll be back, and I'm sure he'll be back better than ever. Darren Till, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, DC, we certainly have not heard the last of Darren Till, and this is probably just the beginning for him. I know Tyron Woodley doesn't do a whole lot of smiling, but you got to feel good for the man tonight. A lot of pressure on him, and he came up large once again.
No, it feels real good. It feels real good to see him come in here and do exactly what he said. He said he was going to put it on Darren Till, man. He said he was going to beat this kid. He said he thought he was going to knock him out or dominate him, and he did exactly that. Hopefully now, Tyron Woodley starts to get the respect that he deserves He's a phenomenal fighter and a phenomenal champion.
And when you talk about the greatest welterweights in UFC history, the conversation usually begins with George St. Pierre and Matt Hughes. But Tyron Woodley continues to state his case and bolster his legacy, and a stoppage of Darren Till tonight certainly will do nothing to hurt that cause. UFC 228, Woodley versus Till, has been brought to you by Harley-Davidson. See your dealer today and learn to ride like some of your favorite UFC fighters with Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. Live your legend. And by Motel 6. When you're ready to tap out, check in at Motel 6 and save. We'll leave the light on for you.
Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor is one of those fights where the moment it gets announced, you get goosebumps, your hands start sweating, and you go, whoa, here we go. Khabib Nurmagomedov, 26-0, and Conor McGregor, he's a legend with unbelievable confidence. They are two of the very best mixed martial arts fighters that have ever lived. It is the biggest fight in the